Hello, it's been a long time. I wanted to drop in and do sort of a collective reading because I've been doing lots of personal readings for people, and this card keeps coming up. The old Seven of Cups. This one is, in this deck, it's called Breach. And what it's usually linked to is some illusions. Maybe your emotions are clouding sort of your ability to make a decision, and you're having a hard time moving forward given all the opportunities that are being presented to you, or all the possibilities, or perhaps all the scary things that might be around the corner. So depending on sort of your own personal experience with any of that stuff, that might resonate, but more so with the collective in general, I think that sort of there's a little bit of a sense that we want somebody to come and save us. That we're not powerful enough to make changes in our own life. And it is, in a lot of ways, very comfortable to live in that place of belief, because then, you don't have to do anything. You can just be like, oh, woe is me, my life, it's just falling apart around me. And that's a little bit delusional. And so while, yes, there are a lot of sort of collective things occurring in our world, there's a place of objectivity and a place of sort of peace and a place of non-fear, if that makes sense. Non-fear. That is a much more reasonable place to make decisions from and to take information from, because we do so much of this stuff in our minds. It gets cloudy, and so we get these ideas based on fear, or based on our own ability to do stuff, our own ability to get stuff done, our own ability to have any kind of confidence in ourselves. And so then I pulled some other cards with that, because a lot of, I think, what's happening is that we feel sort of helpless. A lot of us feel helpless, that we have like this potential that we don't know how to access because it feels really big sometimes. Because it is. Because we each are extremely powerful beings who can do crazy stuff. And so a lot of times it's more comfortable to stay asleep to that, and to just be like, oh no, I'm just a poor victim of fate. But the cards I pulled along with that are some very interesting ones, I would say. We've got the Ace of Roots. In this deck, it's Roots. Pentacles, traditionally. This one's called Enchantment. And then we also have the Lover's card. And so I sort of took these two cards here, one of which I just dropped, in conjunction with the Seven of Cups. I think what Spirit is suggesting that we do is we really get into learning what it is that we truly want in our hearts, getting rid of, sort of letting go of any of these stories that are formed based off of fear, or based off of, our limited ideas of what is possible. What if more is possible than you could imagine? Let me tell you, it is. Our little imaginations, they're pretty creative, but sometimes when it comes to believing in ourselves and our own powers of discernment, and our own powers of creation, sometimes it's really hard to overcome those negative stories. And that's something that I've been dealing with in my own life. And I know a lot of people also have been dealing with that. So that's sort of cutting through these illusions. And the way through that is embodiment, you know, really rooting down into your body, into the earth, into the reality of the present moment. And what does your heart want? The lovers. And the lovers, I think in this case, it's not talking about a romantic relationship. It's talking about making heart choices and committing yourself to making choices from the heart and not letting these illusions keep you from doing what it is that your soul wants you to be doing. Whatever that is, you know, like if that's taking a nap all day, if your soul wants that, man, go for it. But you have to know, you have to be able to know that you are making choices from the heart and not based off of fears and stories and weird stuff that our brain, you know, bless our little brains, but sometimes they get a little bit bogged down in stories and what has always been. And that's why, you know, this one is called enchantment. The Ace of Roots is enchantment, because the magic really is in the present moment, rooting in here. And it has a lot to do with the natural world and the physical world. And a lot of times we want to escape to some kind of better place, like emotionally or spiritually. We want to ascend away from this place. But let me tell you, you have a lot of fun in the garden. Or going on a walk or hanging out with trees. The natural world really is a magical place. That's literally where the magic is. And guess what? You're a part of the natural world. Did you know that? Like, you're basically an animal. You're made up of the same stuff. You gotta breathe and eat food and, you know, do all that gross stuff animals do. And that's kind of magical. I don't know. So find what roots you into the present moment and what makes you excited. Like, if you're not excited about something, about a life choice, if it doesn't like stir something in your heart, I don't know, keep examining what's going on there. Like, that's what the Lovers is kind of about, is like finding that stuff that speaks to your heart. And when you find it, you go for it, you know, you really commit. Because it's hard to find that. It's hard to find the stuff. For me, it has been, you know. I've tried out a lot of stuff. But turns out what was really going on is it wasn't a problem of desire. It was a problem of this stuff. And so this one, in this deck, it's called Breach, because what's happening is you're leaking a lot of energy by trying to manage all these stories and trying to manage yourself and your life based off of what you're afraid of. It just really, it makes things not very magical, in my experience. I didn't find it very magical. I didn't enjoy living that way. And so I think collectively we are living in a lot of fears. A lot of people have a lot of, you know, justifiable fears. But even in all of these big, scary moments, even the biggest, scariest moments, the way through them is to root into the present moment, to be here now, you know? I'm sure you've heard that somewhere. Somebody should write a book. All right, that's all I got for you today. Please excuse my extended absence. I am on Wizard's time, though. I'm never late. I hope you found that enlightening. If you'd like to get a personal reading, you can contact me at one of the methods in the description. I also am a creator of fine magical items. and I'm working on compiling a catalog. But in the meantime, if you have any wizardly needs, such as pendulums or cloaks, or even a few magical pocket stones for yourself or friends, let me know, because I have some things that you might be interested in. So hit me up on one of the find methods below, and I hope to talk to you soon.